I'm really sorry we had to make this such an early evening. It's been so long since we've all seen each other.
What time do you make your hospital round?
7 a.m. That's one of the reasons we got to leave early.
Yes. Yeah, well, also tonight we have to see a patient, although she isn't in the hospital.
Who's that?
Deborah Saxon, we thought we'd stop by her place and see how she's doing.
What?
What's the matter with Deborah?
Well, I guess you call it a case of food poisoning.
Yes, it was one of those situations where the treatment was worse than the disease. The police physician decided she had to have a stomach pump.
Well, how did this happen? When?
Well, yesterday evening. I'm sorry, Nancy. I thought you knew about this. Well, it seems that it was a really horrible practical joke. Somebody sent her a box of chocolates that were filled with a household chemical, maybe an insecticide.
Good Lord. Who would do such a thing to Deborah? Does she have any idea?
I have an idea. I think it could have been Nola Madison. Oh, please, forget what I just said.
Nancy, you must have had a reason.
Look, Deborah is the one who should be telling you this. I know that there has been some friction between her and Mrs. Madison, and Mrs. Madison has done some foolish things, but poisoning...
Is Deborah aware of this possibility?
Well, I certainly hope so. I mean, from everything else she's told me about all the problems she's been having with that woman.
You know, Miles had some thoughts about her.
Oh.
Like what?
No, it's just that I've met her a few times. I mean, at the movie studio, for example, when I went to take care of that actor who quit the picture. And, well, I got several impressions of the woman. Very strong personality, but troubled, you know, precariously balanced.
Yeah, that's how Deborah feels.
Nancy, what do you know? Now, look, we're all friends of Deborah's, and if this woman poses some kind of threat...
Oh, well, I'd say sending a box of poisoned chocolate was a threat. In fact, isn't it a crime? Attempted murder?
Wait a minute. There was never any question of serious injury. I mean, there was not enough of the chemical to do that much harm.
Yeah, and there certainly isn't any danger of anybody finishing off that box of chocolates either.
No danger of that.
But there is the possibility still of these things happening.
Well, what
Yes, sure.
other things has this woman been doing?
Well, honey, she's been making very annoying phone calls. I mean, they're very childish tricks, but nonetheless, they've been very disturbing.
Especially when played by an adult.
Well, since Mrs. Madison is making threatening gestures against Deborah, she must consider Deborah a threat. Is that the story?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. It's just hard to believe there's only one more day's shooting and this movie is going to be finished.
You remember when you were so worried about our meeting the schedule? Well, we made it.
Well, I think it's a miracle we did when you think of what happened. I mean, Trent Archer quit the picture, and then the director died.
Well, I think a great deal of the credit goes to Brian. You've done a wonderful job, darling.
Well, I really don't remember doing that much of anything. I just shot the picture the way it was written and the way the actors felt the scene should be performed.
Oh, come on, Brian. You did a lot more than that. You pulled the whole company together. You got the job done.
Well, almost done. We have a way to go yet, folks.
Yeah, and not just on the set. I mean, post-production is just as important as filming, right?
Yeah, Dad, have you made up your mind about the editing yet?
Well, of course, I still want Bernie Friedman, you know, to cut it for us. But I think he's the best editor in the business, don't you?
Yes, but he won't leave California, darling. You made that very clear.
Well, Los Angeles may be our best bet anyway. I mean, we have to do all that work on, on opticals. There's certainly nobody in this neck of the woods that can handle that stuff like those guys in Hollywood.
No, I think Daddy's right. Editing is real important, and you might as well get the best.
Well, that's going to involve a little while on the coast, isn't it?
Well, personally, I wouldn't mind that in the least. In fact, I think it would be fun, wouldn't it?
We all don't have to go, do we, Daddy?
No, not necessarily.
But I think we should. Besides, the weather is getting colder. Why don't we pack up the house for the winter and all move out to sunny California to live again? Just as we used to.
Gee, Mom, I thought you were through with all that.
I didn't say live there for good, Brian.
Well, how do you feel about that, Brian? I mean, you've been talking about getting some more directing jobs out there.
Is that true, Brian?
Well, after all, I do have a screen credit now. I might as well use it to my advantage, huh?
What would you leave?
Well, I'd have to, wouldn't I? There really isn't much of a chance that we'd be shooting another picture in that studio, is there?
Very little. Darned if I know what we're going to do with that place.
Well, you'll get rid of it somehow. I mean, you could sell it to some outfit that does commercials, maybe.
Oh, I doubt if you'll find a buyer for it, darling. That place was empty for years and years.
Yeah, well, Nola's right. I'm afraid we're just going to have to put it down as an unrecoverable expense.
Look, we were going to see these rushes, weren't we?
Oh,
Yes,
right
I went to
away.
the wedding scene.
Yeah, I'd like to see it too.
Hurry up.
Okay. All ready in here, Joe, when you are. Okay, good. Okay, now listen, everybody. It's a rough cut, so don't worry about the scratches or anything.
Scene 198, take one, sound 211.
What a terrible pity. Patience is not among the bridesmaids.
No one regrets that more than I, Mr. Ware.
Such a lovely creature, and so frail. Frail in both body and mind, unfortunately.
I still find it hard to believe that the girl was mad.
The strains of her life were too great for her to bear. Losing her father, her mother, her baby brother, and finding herself alone in the world.
Is there no chance that she might yet recover?
Oh, Hester tells me that the physicians at the asylum give her no hope at all. She must spend the rest of her life in that damnable darkness. I know that you cared for her, Tom.
Yes, I cared.
But today is your wedding day, and you should look forward to the happy future ahead.
Yes, my happy future.
Mr. Whalen, we're ready to begin?
Oh, yes. I'm presenting the bride.
A great moment for you, Mr. Halifax.
Yes.
Your bride may not be as lovely as her cousin, but she is nonetheless a very handsome woman. You don't think so?
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing you kiss the bride.
We are gathered together to join this man and this woman in lawful matrimony, which is an honorable estate, and one which should be entered into only upon mature consideration and thought, and then reverently having in mind the holy nature of the bond to be assumed. I require and charge you both that if either of you knows of any impediment why you should not be lawfully joined together in matrimony, you now confess it. Tom Halifax, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife, to live together in the ordinances and holy estate of matrimony? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, keep only unto her so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Hester Atherton, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to live together in the ordinances and holy estate of matrimony? Will you love him and comfort him and honor and keep him in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, keep only unto him, so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Repeat after me. I, Tom, take thee, Hester, to be my wedded wife, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part, and I pledge you my troth. I, Hester, take thee, Tom, to be my wedded husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death do us part.
till death do us part.
And I pledge you my troth.
And I pledge you my troth.
Inasmuch as Tom and Hester have now joined together in lawful wedlock, and have witnessed the same before this company, and thereto have been given and pledged their troth, each to each other, I, in accordance with the authority vested in me by the laws of this state, pronounce that they are man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
No, not here. I don't want to be kissed here.
Aunt Hester, Aunt Hester. You forgot the flowers.
Oh my God!
Oh, no, what's that?
A witch, a witch, a witch.
Oh, that was a fantastic scene. You're going to scare them right out of their seats.
Yeah, now the only problem is to get them into the seats in the first place.
Well, it proves one thing, doesn't it? Not all brides are beautiful.
Well, that's for sure.
But then, of course, brides become wives, and wives are never as interesting. Isn't that right, Owen?
Joe, I'm just going to come in there to pick the film up, huh?
Brian, why don't we go finish that game we started?
You are on.
Okay. That was very interesting, wasn't it?
It's a great scene, Nola. You're going to knock them dead.
I wasn't talking about the scene. I meant what Owen said about the studio.
Oh, now, Nola, please don't lay that on me anymore.
The studio is absolutely useless to us now, Eddie. It's a liability. But we could turn it into an asset with one final, spectacular curse on Mansion of the Damned. Eddie, I still think it's a marvelous idea.
I say it's a criminal act. It's arson. People get put in jail for committing arson.
But it's our own studio, Eddie. We bought and paid for it.
Look, it's insured, isn't it? I mean, this wouldn't be the first time that some fly-by-night film company has decided to cut its losses by striking a match at the right time.
You know I wouldn't be doing it for the insurance. I'd be doing it for the movie.
Yeah, and you might kill the movie by doing it. Suppose someone found out.
There's no reason for anyone to find out. Please, Eddie, help me do this, please.
Look, Nola, it's not as easy to light a building on fire as you think it is. If that volunteer fire company is any good, they might get there before it even does any damage.
Well, couldn't we use gasoline or something? Look, I saw some flammable chemicals at the soundstage, and I could bring a can of gasoline from the garage.
Nola, fire is a very tricky thing. If it gets out of control, it could hurt somebody.
Oh, yes, Eddie, I know that. Of course I realize that.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Oh, it's nice to have company. Yeah, I bet it is. Come on in. Look, I think I'm going to live all right, Doctor. I don't think I'm going to be eating any more chocolate, though.
Well, have you come up with any ideas yet about who might have sent you this gift?
Hey, Doctor, I'm supposed to be the detective around here, remember?
Yeah. Well, why don't you consider it a diagnostic question?
No, I don't have any idea.
All right, Deborah, I'm going to be honest with you. Nicole and I just talked about this with Mike and Nancy Carr. We just had dinner there.
Miles, do you think we should?
Yes, I said I want to be honest. Nancy wants to be honest. She said it was all right to talk about this with you.
Deborah, she didn't tell us very much, and I'm sure she didn't break any confidence, but what she did say was that, in her opinion, it might have been Mrs. Nola Madison who sent you those chocolates.
We thought it might have been important enough for you to consider the possibility.
Yeah, well, I have considered it, Miles, and I am absolutely sure it was Mrs. Madison.
Well, Deborah, if you're sure, well, as you said, you are the law.
Well, that doesn't mean I could prove it. Doesn't mean that I want to prove it either, for that matter.
Well, now, listen, I don't want to pry into this. I'm sure you know that. But if it were If it were just a matter of a few prank phone calls,
Well, I
Deborah,
think that's bad enough.
Yes, it is bad enough, but if the woman is trying to do something health-threatening to you, well, look, I'm a doctor. That gets my back up.
Look, you know, I think it was just her idea of a joke.
Well, it's a very sick joke.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm afraid sick might be the word to describe Mrs. Madison's condition. If I knew Owen Madison better, I might even discuss it with him.
Yes, but Miles and I aren't concerned about that right now. What we're worried about is that she might try something else.
And we just
Something
thought
even nastier?
you ought to be warned, Deborah. Apparently you don't need the warning.
But that doesn't mean that you don't need outside help.
Look, it's really good of you guys to come over here and try to help me out, but I don't really think it's necessary. Now, I don't think Mrs. Madison is that dangerous. I really don't. And once this movie is over and hopefully it's successful, I think she's just going to have her mind on other things.
I don't want you to take her lightly, Deborah. Please, just remember that.
All right, that triple letter score is 15 plus 3. That gives a double word score, 36 points.
All that for a 3-letter word?
Genius must be recognized.
That's not fair, Brian. Ever since I've been a little kid, you've been beating me at these games. I would have had a wonderful childhood if it hadn't been for you. Do you remember then? Gosh, it feels like it would have been a completely different place.
It's your turn, Paige.
Yeah. Is what Uncle Eddie said true? Are you going to go to Hollywood?
I really haven't decided yet, or as far as becoming a hotshot director because of one picture, that is just daydreaming.
Well, you used to be very excited about your job right here at WMON.
What I thought I'd do is go out there with Dad when he edits the picture and look around, see what's happening, see if I could land even an assistant director job in pictures.
Well, that settles it. I'm going to Hollywood, too.
I don't think that's such a good idea, Paige.
Why not? If you can go and try out your directing career, I can go and try out my acting career. I mean, it's my first movie, too.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I couldn't stop you.
No, you can't stop me. If you're going to Hollywood, I'm going with you.
Not with me, Paige. Look, if we do leave Monticello, it's got to be separately.
But I don't want to be separated from you. Don't you understand that?
It's your turn, Paige.
Brian, God, don't do this. How can you pretend? How can you act this way, pretending you don't feel for me anymore?
Paige, I think we better call this a...
Brian, look at me. Can't you see that I still feel the same way, exactly the same way? I love you. I love you, and I don't care who our parents are. It's got nothing to do with the way I feel for you.
Paige, you have got to care. It's impossible not to. It's just not natural.
It's not natural to love somebody, to want to be in their arms. God, Brian, you love me, and I love you. That's all that should matter. Nothing else should matter. Nothing. Brian, we could go away together. Not to Hollywood. We can't go there. People know us, but we could leave the country. Remember how we used to talk about that? Going to live in Paris or Rome?
It was kid talk, Paige. It still is.
But if we could get away from everybody who knows us, then we could live the way we want to. Brian, they make movies overseas. You might have an easier time of it there. You might be a big, famous American director.
It's impossible, Paige. Don't you understand that? Now, please forget it.
Why? Why? Because you've changed your feelings?
No.
You don't feel the same way?
You know that's not true.
Was it, Brian? Just the truth that changed it? The damn truth? Just one little tiny conversation with our father, and that was it?
Yes. One conversation with our father. That changed everything.
I don't believe you. I don't believe it changed your heart. Maybe your mind.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, Brian. I wanted to talk to you about tomorrow's shooting.
He's all yours, Uncle Eddie.
I'm sorry. I interrupted something, didn't I?
That's all right, Eddie. Paige was just feeling a little emotional.
I guess I know what that was about, don't I?
I'm sorry. I thought things were working out. I guess there are still a few problems.
Some problems just don't go away.
I guess not. Well, what was it you wanted to talk to me about, Eddie? Something about the shooting?
Well, it actually wasn't about the picture. I just wanted to talk to you. But now I think maybe it would be better if we talked more privately, away from this house.
Sure, whatever you say.
Would you be available, say, tomorrow night after the shooting?
I don't have any plans.
Good. We'll have dinner. Someplace where it's quiet and we can talk. I have something to say to you, Brian. Something very important.
Dorothy, did you get the timings on the last take of the last graveyard scene?
Yes, the last take was 3 minutes, 12 seconds.
3:12. Okay, thank you. That looks terrific, Rob. Just make sure that the dirt looks like it's a freshly dug grave. Nice job.
Hey, Brian. I have been looking for you. I didn't realize you were going to do this scene inside.
Yeah, Eddie, we decided that was a pretty tight shot. It's better for the lighting anyway.
I see you've got a fog machine. Where'd you find a gadget like that in a town like this?
I got connections. Besides, what's a spooky movie without a fog machine, huh?
Yeah, right. Say, listen, kid, you haven't forgotten what I asked you last night about having a bite to eat with me after the shooting, did you?
Well, no, but you know, Dad's got a wrap party planned here, Eddie. He's got a whole case of champagne ordered.
Well, yeah, I know that, but you got to eat someplace, and I really would like to talk to you privately, kid. It's important, believe me. It's very important to me and to you, and even to Paige.
Paige? All right. You got a date.
Yeah. Hey, where's our star? Isn't she in this shot?
Oh, Eddie, I think she's still turning herself into a witch.
There. That looks like a wicked old witch to me. But tonight, I cast a different sort of spell.
Truth is, Brian, from the rushes I've seen, your mother is stealing every scene of this movie.
Well, she's an old pro at that, Elliot. Although, frankly, I'd say you were holding your own.
That's very kind of you. Sometimes I just feel so inadequate. Oh, I noticed your father's not around today.
Yeah, Dad had a few things to take care of. Among them was to get this little wrap party we've planned together. I hope you're planning on coming.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Good. Mom is very anxious for people to see her as something other than a wicked old witch.
Well, she needn't worry. Even through that makeup, I can see the beautiful woman underneath. Sometimes I think that her husband doesn't feel the same way.
What does that mean?
It just means that husbands are often insensitive to the charms of their wives.
You're speaking from experience, Elliot?
Of course. Well, here she is, our terrifying beauty.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting.
Oh, that's all right, Mom. We've had a few delays of our own.
Actually, I'm astonished at how fast you get this makeup on.
Well, thank God today is the last time.
Really? Shall we do it?
Yeah. Good.
All right, places, please, for the last graveyard scene.
Thanks.
Mom, you were up by the grave.
Right.
And Elliot, you were back in the shadows. All right, cue the fog machine. And roll sound. Eddie, you want to slate this one?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. I've always wanted to be in the movies. Scene 201, take one, sound 219.
And action.
You did this to me. You put a curse on me from the moment you walked into my house. If I could kill you again, I would. 1,000 times over.
Why, Hester? Why isn't Mrs. Halifax on her honeymoon? With her adoring groom.
No, go away, damn you.
Damn me. I am damnation.
This was your fault. You turned me into this hag. You sent that child to tear away my bridal veil so that everyone could see me.
But a bride must lift her veil, Hester, so she can receive the loving kiss from her new husband.
He'll never come near me again. He's gone.
Gone? Tom Halifax gone? What a pity. Doesn't he know that beauty is only skin deep? Doesn't he know that there is a certain grandeur to ugliness? And your ugliness, my dear Hester, is almost noble.
No, change me back, I beg you. No, I'll serve you the rest of my life if you give me back my face.
I cannot violate my own laws, Hester, any more than you can violate them. I warned you about this, you know. I told you that if you took a human life, your ugliness would be the permanent mark of your sin. And it's too late to go back now. The body of Patience Revere lies beneath this soil.
Oh, God, I'd rather be dead than remain this way.
So you shall be, Hester. In due course, you will also go to your grave. But I foresee a long, long life ahead for you. Years and years, thousands of mornings, to look in the mirror to see if you had changed, but there will be no change. You will only become more noble as time goes by.
Look, I'll do anything. Anything.
Be careful, Hester. Remember to whom you speak.
Yes, I do remember.
You know, I once promised you anything you wished in exchange for that minuscule article, that overvalued, overrated possession.
You can have it. You can have it now. Just give me back what I have lost.
The face of Hester Atherton? Is that all you wish now?
Not all. You must give me Tom Halifax.
You have his name.
I want his heart. Don't you understand? I want his love. You must promise me that. Can you do that? Can you make that bargain with me? Or is that too much even for your mighty powers?
The bargain is made, Hester. Raise your hand.
Print it. We have it on the first take. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, darling.
All right, everybody, take a 15-minute break. We'll start setting up for the last scene.
Nola, you were magnificent.
Oh, thank you, Eddie. But I haven't given my best performance yet.
What the devil are you doing?
Hi, Steve.
You should take a couple of days off to recuperate.
I feel fine. Besides, I'm only putting in a couple of hours. Anyway, I think I might have gotten some good out of what happened.
Yeah, teach you never to take candy from strange men.
Yeah, I know. I'm never going to attack a box of chocolates again. Well, I'll be good for my figure, huh?
We still don't know who sent you the candy, right?
No.
See, what we do know is that they knew enough about you that you'd be fooled if you received a card from someone named Owen.
Steve, did you happen to see Star Wilson come in here a little while ago? I thought I saw her.
Yeah, it could have been. She and Calvin are going out for dinner. I'm going along as a third wheel. You wouldn't want to make it a foursome, would you? Unless, of course, you're off food altogether.
No, I'm not off food.
Well, why don't we go together? I promise, no chocolates.
How can I resist?
Oh. Okay. Yeah, well, meet us at the coach house.
Read any interesting arrest reports lately?
Oh, this one's gonna be a beauty. You wouldn't believe what this couple tried to pull to defraud their insurance company.
How much you want to bet I would? You can't make up half the stuff people are trying to get away with these days.
Yeah.
Look, I came out to give you a lift. I thought we'd go over to the restaurant together. You know, 2 cars burn more gas than one.
Gosh, I didn't know it was that late.
Yeah, I think Star and Steve should probably be sitting over there waiting for us now. By the way, I was very happy to hear that you were deciding to join us this evening.
Well, there's been a slight change of plans, Calvin.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me new Chief Mallory's got you working a double shift already.
No, nothing like that. It's just that right after I accepted the invitation from Steve, something else came up. I've got to go out to Glenboro to meet somebody.
Oh, I see.
And I know it's not going to take very long, but it is important that I go. So if it's all right with you, I'll come by the restaurant and have dessert with you.
Well, sure. You know where we'll be, right? See you later.
You haven't seen our movie studio, have you? Why don't you come out here later today?
Today?
Oh, yes. Well, it would have to be today. You see, we're finishing our shooting schedule today, and then the mad rush will really start. Off to the West Coast and all that.
Oh, you're planning on going to California?
Oh, yes, of course. Owen has to arrange to have the film edited, and that may take weeks. Naturally, I want to be with my husband, you understand.
Yes, I understand. Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Madison, but I can't make it today because I have a dinner date.
Oh, but you can drive out here before your date, can't you? Oh, you really should see the studio, darling. And before we strike all the sets and close it up, I think it's very important that we get together this evening.
This is one meeting I'm not looking forward to.
I'm waiting for you, Deborah.
Step right up, everybody. Don't be bashful. There's plenty for everyone.
Fill her up, Mr. Bond.
Why, my pleasure, Mr. Macefield.
Well, we did it. Neither ghosts, nor witches, nor curses could stay us in the completion of Mansion of the Damned.
Well, we gave the devil his due, all right.
Hey, Owen really knows how to throw a rap party.
Oh, only the best for this crowd.
Yeah, you know, the producer of the last film I did was such a tightwad that he only served punch, and it wasn't even spiked.
Well, even though this wasn't a big-budget spectacular, Everybody connected with the film gave his all. This is the least that Owen can say in the way of thank you.
You know, I thought once or twice we'd never get it done. You know, I honestly believed that this production would be scrapped.
Well, we had our problems, all right.
You know, we lost a director and a leading man, and not to mention everything else that happened.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, none of that will show up in the final print. What's next for you, Willard?
Oh, I'm going right back out to the coast. My agent found some film for TV.
Oh, good for you.
Excuse me. I know you. No, don't tell me. Paige Madison, star of stage, screen, and television.
I knew I should have worn those dark sunglasses.
Having a good time?
Yeah, it's a party, isn't it?
What are they like in Hollywood?
Is that where you're headed next, to Lotus Land?
I would like nothing better than to fly out there tomorrow, lay on the beach, and wait for offers to roll in with the tide. But until Mansion is released, no one is going to know who Chris Rafferty
I
is.
guess you'll just have to wait a couple of months before you're a household name.
Oh, it's going to happen for me, Paige. I can feel it.
Oh, well, start practicing your autograph, Chris.
You too. I think once this movie hits the theaters, you and I are going to be hot new names in the business.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought we looked awfully good together, both on screen as well as on.
Really?
Hey, why don't you and I have our own private rap party? Say, dinner at Armando's and then a nightcap at my place?
You mean you could actually pull yourself away from this swinging showbiz party just to spend time with me? Thanks, Chris, but I'm having a fine time right here.
Well, at least help me liven up this affair.
What'd you have in mind?
Let's show these people how to dance.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's hard to believe we finished the film. I'm gonna miss not going out to the soundstage every day.
Oh, it's not completed yet. There's still a lot more work to do, you know. I've got to find an editor. And also somebody to distribute the finished product.
Is that why you're traveling to Hollywood?
Actually, all of us are going to go out there for a while. Brian's going to help me with the editing. Eddie's going to be doing a little work on the publicity. And Paige, I assume, is going to try to pick up her acting career. Of course, Noah's going to try to get back in the good graces of the Hollywood scene.
Yeah.
How about you? What's next for you?
Well, I've never been one to plan ahead. But I'm not worried. Something will come up.
Good for you. Say, you did a good job for us, Elliot, you know. If you like, you know what I can do? I can put several of your scenes together in a sample reel, and you can go around and show that as some of your work.
That's very kind of you. But you do realize that whatever success I had in front of the cameras was due to your wife. Where's Nala, by the way? This would be a fitting time to thank her for what she's done for me.
Gosh, I don't know. Last time I saw her was on the soundstage. I had to drop off some stuff at the lab and drove back myself in the van. I don't know. I guess she's upstairs getting dressed. She's trying to decide what to wear to make her grand entrance, you know.
Ooh, I knew you'd fit right into my arms.
I knew you'd say something like that.
Hey, you're drinking those awful fast.
I don't want to let any of the bubbles go away.
Nice party, huh?
Yeah, everybody seems to be enjoying it.
Yeah, everybody except you. Why don't you cut in on Rafferty? You can dance circles around him.
I don't want to spoil Paige's fun.
Well, you better make your move before this disco beat changes to a waltz, because that's when I cut in.
I'll keep that in mind, Eddie.
Say, we're still on for tonight, right? We have a dinner date.
Yeah, well, I don't have much of an appetite, Eddie.
Oh, now, look, don't cancel out on me now, kid. I mean, it's been a long time since we've had a good talk together, just the two of us. Much too long. Okay, sure. We'll cut out just as the party starts thinning, okay? But don't say anything to your mom about it.
Why not?
Oh, you know the way she is. She'll think I'm trying to get you for a client or something.
All right, Eddie, but I gotta change clothes. I'm not dressed for anything but a hamburger joint.
Don't get too fancy.
Eddie, you did have something on your mind. You said there was something important that you wanted to tell me.
Yeah, it's important.
Okay. I'll be done in just a minute.
Yeah, it's important, all right. I was never happy with what we did. You know that.
You agreed to it, Eddie. You knew it was right.
No, it was wrong. Lying to Owen, letting him believe that he was the father of your child.
But it was right then, wasn't it? You didn't want to hurt Owen. He knew nothing about us.
Nola, don't give me that. You know perfectly well why you wanted me to keep my mouth shut. You wanted to marry Owen, and you knew that was the only way you'd get him, and you got him, too. It took a few years, but you got him. And where did that leave me?
With a job, Eddie. A very good job. And with a family, too. We are your family, Eddie, in every way that matters.
But Brian is my real family. My son. You know, it's funny, Nola, but, well, I guess Brian doesn't really know me very well, and I guess I don't know him very well either, but, well, I always think of him as my son.
What did you say, Uncle Ed?
Nothing. Hey, how many of those are you intending on drinking?
About 100.
You better take it easy. That isn't ginger ale, you know.
It's a party, right? Supposed to have fun at these transplanted Hollywood parties. That's very difficult to say.
On 3 glasses of champagne, I guess it is.
4.
One more time.
When did Deborah say she was going to be here, Calvin?
She didn't. She said she'd come as soon as she got through with her business in Glenboro.
Well, let's face it, gang. It looks like the kid got stood up.
It's not that late.
Right. She probably just got, caught in a traffic jam or something.
Nice try, Calvin. Look, if Deborah intended on being here, she would have been here by now. I don't know. I guess I was surprised when she accepted my invitation anyway. I don't know why I'm surprised she decided to back out.
What made her change your mind?
Well, I guess the 3 of us are kind of a poor second on Deborah's list of priorities, huh?
Meaning what?
Meaning she went to Glenboro, right? Now, what the hell they got in Glenboro? They got maybe a beer joint, a restaurant, maybe a hair salon, and a sound stage for Mansion of the Damned.
So you figure she's going all the way out there just to see Owen Madison, huh?
Well, I figured he called her after I saw her.
Look, it's not like Deborah to say she's going to be here and then not show up.
Point?
I don't know. Everything used to be so nice, Now all I seem to do is turn her off.
Steve, you couldn't turn anyone off. Maybe you didn't turn Deborah off. Maybe you scared her off.
What are you saying? I'm the big bad wolf?
Look, you two started to drift apart after you suggested to her you make your relationship permanent, right?
Right.
Why not? We've known each other for a long time.
But Steve, some people just feel differently about the idea of marriage.
Well, it seems to be all right for you and Star, right? I mean, it seems to fit you two.
Obviously, Deborah isn't willing to make this kind of commitment.
Look, you popped the question before she was ready, so that's why she ran.
To Owen Madison?
Wait a minute, you're saying that I drove her to him?
Well, come on now, Star is making some sense. I mean, it's clear that taking up with Owen is no threat to Deborah.
Mm-hmm. He's got a wife.
Yeah, well, I'm still on the outside looking in, right?
Baby, if you really care about Deborah, give it some time, some trust. Let her work this thing through by herself.
I'm just no good sitting on the sideline.
Then don't. Get in the game.
Right.
You're right. Damn it. Absolutely. I'm going to make Owen Madison regret he ever came to Monticello.
All right.
I'm going to put an offensive team in the field you wouldn't believe.
Out of way, man.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not going to wait till he goes to California. I'm going to start right now.
Oh, and what you going to do?
I am going to find where Deborah is.
I told you she said she had to go out to Glenboro.
Right, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call Glenboro.
All right. Well, one problem solved.
Could I borrow a dime?
Oh, well, you'll have to speak to my financial advisor.
Tell him he can keep the change.
You can keep the change.
Thanks a lot.
Well, we certainly did put some fight into our boy, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Well, you gotta fight for what you want in this world. Isn't that what you always tell me?
Oh, I had to fight for you, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's the matter with you? Aren't you enjoying the party?
I'm worried about your wife. I wondered why you're not.
Oh my God, you're right. She didn't come downstairs.
She never went upstairs. I sent Brian up to check her room. She isn't in it.
Well, Eddie, I guess she's probably still out at the soundstage.
Well, if she doesn't get here pretty soon, she's going to miss the party.
Well, to tell you the truth, Eddie, I wouldn't mind that at all. I'm telling you, man, I am beat.
Yeah, I guess you are. This hasn't been easy on you, has it, Owen?
No, Eddie, it's not been an easy film, and it's not going to get any easier either.
Well, you know, I think we made it. I think it worked. I think that when you get that editor working on it, you'll see it for yourself.
I hope so. Eddie, you know that Nola's coming out there with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I wish she wouldn't. I know it's a rotten thing to say, but it's true. She just has far too many expectations of the whole trip. She thinks once we go out to Los Angeles, it's just going to turn back the clock. We're going to be the same family we were 10 years ago. Well, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen.
No, you can't turn back the clock. As much as I wish we could.
Daddy, dance with me.
Oh, I won't dance. Don't ask me to dance. Come on. Couldn't you find somebody younger?
Man I
Hey.
want to dance with isn't even here.
Hello?
Yes, is this Madison House?
Yes, it is. Who's this?
This is Steve Guthrie.
Oh, Steve. Hello, how are you? Eddie Vaughn here.
Oh, Mr. Vaughn, yes. Just fine, how are you?
I'm fine, terrific. Say, why don't you come out and join the party?
Listen, I just called the studio in Glenboro.
Oh? Why there? The party's here.
Well, no, I didn't get an answer or anything. Listen, Eddie, have you seen Deborah Saxon?
Deborah? No, I haven't. Why, is she expected here?
I have no idea. She told a friend of mine she was going out to Glenboro to meet somebody.
Oh, no kidding.
Well, I'm not sure that she knows anybody in Glenboro except for the movie people.
Well, look, Steve, you're sure you've got the right information? I mean, I can't see Owen. Well, what I mean is, there's no reason for her to go out there.
Well, my friend is usually correct.
Well, that beats me. You see, the place is all closed up. There was only one person there when we left, and she... Wait a minute.
Yes?
Nothing. I just had a wild idea.
No, I'm sorry, Steve. There must be some mistake. Owen is here, but your friend Deborah is not. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, well, thank you, Eddie. Listen, if you hear from her, or see her, tell her I called. And tell her friends are still at the restaurant waiting for her. We'll be here about a half hour, and that's all.
Okay, sure thing, fella. Right, so long now. God, what's that all about?
It's all right, Paige. Come on.
Oh, yes. And what happens when it grows dark? When I'm alone in my room, and you, presumably, are alone in yours, does there come a gentle tapping on your door? No, never.
I saw you kiss him, you harlot. I saw you.
Nola! That's enough!
Prince of eternal darkness, come unto me. Master of foulness, hold out thy hand. Breathe thy tongue of fire upon my face. Scorch
my lips with thy searing kiss. Brand my soul with the irons of hell. I accept thee, Lord of Eve. My heart yields to thy power. Etahim, frugativi, et atalavi. Thus I evoke thee, Satan! Oh, God in heaven, spy on me, spy!
No! I just came to ask you not to send me to that place.
Now you have seen what no other eyes have seen. And those eyes must now be closed.
No, forever! Oh, please, no, 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 no!
Oh, my God! All right, Owen.
It's a trick dagger.
She's here. Welcome to the mansion of the dead, Deborah.
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find, always on our mind, and frustrated days pass without sight, the edge of night, half dark, half light, as we watch our hearts trying to hold the tenderness that we once had, halfway glad and halfway sad. The edge of
Merry Christmas, call me. Love, Owen. Hi, Mrs. Corey.
Hello, Deborah. How are you?
I'm all right. When you said 10 minutes, it really was 10 minutes. Come on in. The tea's almost ready.
Oh, I intended to stop by yesterday to wish you a Merry Christmas, but my friend called. She's not feeling well again, I'm afraid, so I had to rush off to care for her.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but my friends came over and took very good care of me.
I've been so worried about you ever since I heard about you being abducted by that maniac. I kept my radio on all night, just praying to hear good news.
Well, it was frightening, but everything turned out all right.
Do the police have any idea who did this to you?
No, but we're working on it.
Oh, I just don't know how you can put yourself in such potentially dangerous situations.
Well, it's my job. That's what I get paid to do.
Well, if you ask me, your night in the woods took more out of you than you think. You look mighty pale, my dear.
Well, I'm planning on resting for a couple of days.
Well, just as soon as we've had our tea, I'm going to leave and let you get some rest.
Oh, by the way, it's probably ready by now.
Oh, by the way, I hope you got the little present I sent over. I know it's not much, but...
Oh, it's very thoughtful of you, Mrs. Corey, making a whole big fruitcake like this. I shouldn't have.
Well, I hope you like fruitcake. It's so traditional this time of the year.
Oh.
Well, you haven't had any yet.
Well, to tell you the truth, my friends brought over so much food yesterday. We didn't really want to have 2 desserts. But I just thought we might as well have it together.
Well, that cake will go nicely with the tea. It's from a very special recipe.
Oh, well, I can't wait to taste it.
Oh, what are we waiting for?
It's thick. Okay, here, hand me your plate.
Oh, all right.
Golly, it's so full of nuts and fruit. Okay, I'm gonna use my fingers. What the heck? Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I'm so glad you like it.
Mrs. Corey, you haven't even touched your slice.
Oh, well, I'm afraid this is going to have to be your second helping, my dear.
Oh, come on now. You've got to have a bite of your own fruitcake.
Oh, wouldn't I love it? But no, I'm afraid I'm just going to have to watch you enjoy yours.
Don't tell me you're on a diet.
Something like that. Oh, I'm not worried about my girlish figure. I lost that a long time ago. No, but I do have to watch my health. Well, I'm not allowed to eat anything sweet.
That's funny. I remember the last time you were here, you had a lot of pastry with me.
Oh, yes, I know. Well, I'm a naughty old woman sometimes, but my doctor made me promise to be good from now on.
Well, I know what you mean. I have the same problem. I haven't been getting much exercise lately. I've got to watch what I eat so I don't get fat.
Look, while you were in the hospital, did the doctors get any clue as to why you've been feeling so ill?
Not a clue. They told me that I have to rest and hope that whatever it is gets out of my system.
Well, you're just going to have to let me be more of a help to you, Deborah.
Oh, Mrs. Corey, that's sweet of you, but you don't have to, really.
Oh, well, we'd be doing each other a favor. I'm an old woman, Deborah. The only thing I have plenty of is time on my hands. I can't think of a better way of occupying myself than by helping others. And I want so much to care for you.
I'm lucky to have a neighbor like you, Mrs. Corey. Excuse me. Hello?
Deborah, I finally managed to track you down.
Owen?
Oh, God, I can't tell you how wonderful it is to hear your voice again.
Where are you?
I'm still in Los Angeles. How are you feeling?
I'm okay, I guess.
Yeah. I called the police headquarters, and they said you were in the hospital. Monticello General just wouldn't give out any information. I've been worried sick about you. You must have gone through hell the other night.
What? I wasn't aware that my ordeal was something that hit the news in California.
Nola told me what happened.
Nola? How did she know?
I got a call from her the other night. Nola decided to cut short her Caribbean vacation, and when she arrived in Monticello, your disappearance was all over the news.
So Nola's back. When did you get back? Do you know?
I don't know. Oh, it must have been awful for you, Deborah. As soon as I heard about it, I wanted to drop everything here and just fly out to Monticello.
Well, I wish you had, but I know that you've got a lot of work out there in California.
Well, I am right in the middle of a distribution deal. Tell me, did they catch the guy who abducted you?
No, not yet.
You know, I'm not a violent man. But I'm telling you, if they left me in the same room with that guy, I don't know what I'd do. Well, listen, tell me, Deborah, how did it all happen anyway?
Well, it was partly my fault, I guess. I wasn't feeling very well, but I went ahead and took an assignment as a decoy.
My God, that's terribly dangerous work. I didn't know you did things like that.
Well, I told you this wasn't the safest job in the world.
I know, but to put yourself into so much danger.
Well, it's, that's what they paid me for. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't have done it, but the guy was unusually clever, and I was unusually inept, I guess.
Well, you could have been killed. It was bad enough as it was, from what Nola said.
Well, I spent the night in the woods, Owen, that's all. I mean, it was no picnic, but that was a joke.
I'm sorry. I'm just not finding any of this very amusing. I'm very worried about you, Deborah.
Oh, Owen, look, I'm fine. I really am. I'm home now. I'm safe and sound. I had a nice Christmas.
Without me.
I had your roses. I got them. They're beautiful, Owen. Yeah.
Wish I could have delivered them in person.
I wish you... Tell me about your Christmas. What did you do? Did you see Brian and Paige?
Yeah, I saw them. They're both fine. Only thing is that their happiness reminded me. I miss you. I miss you so much. Well, listen, I guess you must be pretty tired, huh?
Well, I am a little weak, I guess.
Okay. Well, listen, I'll call you tomorrow, all right? I love you.
I miss you, Owen, so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Another well-wisher?
Yes.
Well, come on now. It's time for your second slice.
Almost empty.
1 month, Miles. 1 month before I'll be tooling around Monticello in my brand new candy apple red car.
It certainly overshadows all your other gifts, isn't it? You're lucky to have a mother who can afford to be that generous.
Yeah, I am.
Guess now with Elliot gone, she's a little bit lonely. So it's understandable she wants to focus a lot more attention on you.
You know, I really think Draper's starting to understand that.
Well, good. Good. Glad to hear things are starting to be ironed out between the two of them.
Oh, yeah, I can't tell you. It certainly makes me relax a bit knowing that the two of them are finally getting along.
Well, now all you have to do is put your mind at ease about one other matter, and things will be just about perfect.
Oh, now what's that supposed to mean?
Oh, Draper told me you were having trouble sleeping again. You know, it is not healthy for a pregnant lady to go around constantly in a state of fatigue.
Miles, I would love to get a good night's rest, and that means, though, that I can't dream.
The more you think about that dream, April, the more often it's going to recur.
Miles, I can't help it, but it reminds me of the time last year when I was dreaming and they were all coming true.
Just don't start thinking of yourself again as a fortune teller or a witch. Now, those people only show up in movies.
All right. By the way, speaking of movies, speaking of witches, for that matter, have you heard anything more about Mansion of the Damned?
Me? No, I haven't.
Well, I guess it'll take a while before that movie comes out. I'll tell you, I'm real curious to see it, aren't you?
Not especially.
Oh, come on, you are too. A movie made right here in Monticello, and a movie with people that we know in it.
That's true. Does have people I know in it.
You know, I'll bet. Even though I know people in the movie, it'll still scare the daylights out of me. Not that I believe in witchcraft or witches or anything like that. But I know a lot of people still do, don't they?
Well, there was a time when a lot more people believed in them, back in the days of Old Salem.
Oh, come on. They weren't real witches then. They were just ordinary people accused of being witches. Right? Hello?
I'm sorry, what?
Where were you? What were you thinking about?
About witches. About Salem. I just had a thought.
You sure you don't want something to eat?
Positive.
All right, you're smart. In this place, they give you indigestion pills instead of after-dinner mints.
Yeah. Look, if you don't mind, I'd like to get down to business.
Yeah, well, then I'd like to get paid.
$500. Nothing larger than 20s, as agreed.
Thank you.
Aren't you going to count it?
You got an honest face.
If what you tell me is worthwhile, there's more where that came from.
Yeah? Well, what do I have to do to get invited back?
Just be open, honest with me.
I already told you. I'll let you in on all I know, just as long as nothing I say winds up in an indictment against me.
And I already told you that all names and places will be changed.
Yeah, to protect the innocent, right? Hey, listen. I've heard about when cops put the squeeze on newspaper reporters to get certain information they want. You know, sometimes they even throw them in jail for contempt of court. How do I know that if they ask you to help them out, you won't sing like a bird?
Unless you want to go into a lengthy discussion about my feelings about the First Amendment, you will just have to trust me. I will protect you.
Let's get started. What do you want to know?
Okay, let me set this up.
Hey, no tape recorders, lady. Put that thing away or I don't say a word.
Oh, what, look,
all I need is for a lost tape to end up on Chief Mallory's desk. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to trust your memory.
All right, if I take any notes?
You want to know about when I was a kid? I was a cute son of a gun.
You were you? Well, I tell you what, why don't we save that? Tell me now, why did you get involved in the business?
Well, money was the main thing. You sure we're here alone?
Yes.
Yeah? You know, I'm taking a lot of risks being here, so I gotta be careful.
Yes.
You sure you didn't tell anybody that you were gonna be here?
Benny, why do you ask that?
Because there's a guy sitting at the end of the bar who wasn't here when I came in.
This is a public place.
Yeah, well, I happen to know all the people in this joint, and he ain't one of them. And besides, he looks a lot different than the kind of people that come here anyway.
So what?
So what? So I think maybe he's a cop, and maybe
I
he's a
did
setup.
not notify the police, Benny.
Yeah, well, you turn around and take a look at this guy, and you tell me he doesn't have law and order written all over his face. Go ahead. Go ahead, look at him. Go ahead, look at him. You do know him. Oh, I thought I could trust you, lady. Well, the deal is off.
Who is it?
It's the house detective. You got a man in there? If not, let me in.
Cliff, I'm not in the mood.
Hey, open this door, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow it down.
You've got enough hot air, you probably could.
Now there's a rejection that I've learned to allow. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas.
What'd you do? You buy this with your own money? Did you find it on my doorstep?
See, you already got another one, huh? I paid for that with my hard-earned cash. If you don't believe me, I got the receipt. Oh, that is what I'd really like to give you. That's a picture of a mink coat. Now, you see, save that. And when I open up my law offices in New York, Rome, and Paris, give it to me and I'll give you the real thing.
Gee, thanks.
Well, don't you think I deserve a Christmas kiss for that? Hmm? Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Too much for you, huh? Well, I was going to get you a dozen roses. So you already got those, too, huh? Owen Poopsie?
Do that.
If you don't mind, I'll remove these. I think I'm allergic to them. Whenever I see how much these things cost, it makes me sneeze. Guess they wilted when they saw how beautiful you were, hmm?
Feel beautiful today.
Well, I came over to nurse you back to health.
Cliff, I don't know what's the matter with me. This morning I was feeling fine. Today, all of a sudden, about an hour ago, I started getting weak again.
Hey, you want me to run down to the supermarket and buy some of that homemade chicken soup?
No, I don't think that would do the trick.
Well, look, it couldn't hurt.
No, I've got food. I've got food in my kitchen.
Well, terrific, because I am starved.
Well, there's some fruitcake in there on the sink. You can have that if you
This
want.
looks fabulous. Where'd you get it?
My next-door neighbor, Mrs. Corey, she made it for me.
Hey.
She's a good cook. I've been eating
Next
it all
time she
day.
makes some, tell her to make a double batch so she can make some for me. I love this. You know, nothing means Christmas more to me than fruitcake.
Yeah.
And all the nuts and the cherries in there. And hey, second thought, maybe you better tell her to forget it.
What's the matter?
The cake is inedible.
Why?
Well, it's got raisins in it. See? See, I hate raisins. You don't know whether you're eating the raisins or the dead flies.
Oh, God, Cliff, please, I don't want you around.
Hey, wait a minute. Are you all right? Boy, you look pale.
I feel cold. I don't understand.
You may feel cold, but boy, you're burning up.
I'm so sick of being sick.
Hey, take it easy, take it
What's
easy.
the matter with me?
Are you all right? What's your doctor's number?
Kavanaugh.
What's his number?
It's in my book.
Where's your book?
Over there.
All right, now take it easy, all right? Try and take deep breaths, okay? Maybe you should, are you sure that... You want a glass of water or something like that? Kavanaugh, with the C, right? Kavanaugh. Listen, sure I can't get you something to keep you warm or... Hang low. Look, I need Dr. Kavanaugh, all right? Quick. Well, look, you find him, all right? You tell him Deborah Saxon's sick again and he's got to get over here real quick, all right? Hurry!
Is anybody there?
If it isn't one of my favorite customers. How you doing, Mrs. Corey?
Hello, Benny. Is my order ready?
You bet, you bet. I made it up for you myself.
I assume you were able to get all the flowers I requested?
Hey, Benny always comes through, you know that? He made a real nice selection, you know?
I especially like those red ones.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They go real well with the yellows and the greens.
Well, your flowers certainly help to brighten my day.
Well, this bunch is gonna make you feel fantastic. I can promise you that. And, just to keep them healthy, here's a little plant food for you, okay?
Well, as soon as I find myself in the need of another bouquet, I'll be in touch.
Well, good. You got my number. Enjoy them.
Thank you, Benny. Bye.
Goodbye, Grandma.
Here it is, Dr. Kavanaugh, The Witches of Salem. Thinking of using witchcraft in your practice?
No, I'm an MD, not a witch doctor.
Did you want to borrow the book?
No, as a matter of fact, I'll just browse through it here. Something I want to look up.
Okay, then.
It was perhaps because she burst into incredulous laughter at the hysterical fits thrown by the young woman who brought the charges of witchcraft against so many citizens of Salem that the old woman found herself among the accused. Ann Putnam made the accusation, and the old woman declared in court that she was a gospel woman. But the girls cried out, "Gospel witch, gospel witch," and even though she continued to deny the charges, Martha Corey was hanged. Martha Corey. It is her. It's Nola Madison.
Now, apparently, Eddie thought your wife was in the building. She'd already left when the fire spread. Oh, and I think he got trapped.
Girls,
Eddie. Mr. Madison?
Yeah.
What? I think it's Mr. Vaughn. Where? Here he is. Eddie. Eddie. Here.
Now stand back.
Oh, my God. Come on. Okay, I got it. Oh, my God. Here, bring him over here.
He's still alive, and I think he's trying to say something here.
Come on, Eddie.
Eddie, down.
Eddie, can you hear me? Eddie.
Oh, there he is.
Eddie, you're gonna be all right. We have a dinner date, remember? Just you and me.
Wait. I gotta tell you now.
No, don't try to talk, Eddie. You mustn't lose any strength.
Eddie, the ambulance is coming any minute now.
I don't know if I got him. Brian, come close.
Wait, Eddie, please don't.
Wait. I gotta tell you this. No.
Eddie, it can wait. It can wait. Eddie, please take it easy.
Isn't there somebody around here who can do something for him?
Brian.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too, Eddie.
Eddie, no! No!
Right. Come on.
Bob, I can't believe it. No. Be right with you. No, I won't be out there until, well, unless there's something suspicious about it. However, it would be Hank Gerard. Yeah. No, I appreciate you calling. Right, will do. Bye-bye.
Well, it's nice to see us both home at a reasonable hour for a change.
Yeah, isn't it?
Must have been a slow news day in Monticello. This is the first time all week you've gotten home ahead of me.
Well, I finished the article for the early edition, and then the editor-in-chief gave me a special dispensation to come home and have dinner with my darling.
Ah. Thank your father for me.
I will.
Oh, I see you brought home the Night Owl edition.
Mm-hmm.
That's one advantage of being married to a reporter. You get to see the paper before it hits the stands, and for free.
Well, I'll bring you your paper. However, when it comes to your pipe and slippers, you're on your own.
Well, you realize the court would say that's cruel and inhuman treatment, don't you? What was the phone call about?
Bad news, Mike. There was a fire out in Glenboro, you know. The set where that, well, the soundstage of that movie.
No kidding. The Owen Madison film?
Yeah. I understand the place was gutted. Worse than that. Somebody was killed.
Who?
Eddie Vaughn. That publicity man. There was Bob Jefferson on the phone. He works as a stringer for the paper every so often, and he's a volunteer fireman out there.
Eddie Vaughn?
Yeah.
Oh, we met him at Margot's party, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, nice, garrulous man. I liked him.
How did it happen? Do you know?
Bob didn't have too much to say. There were just two people out there. Eddie Vaughn and Nola Madison.
Was she hurt?
No. She's all right. She had gotten out before the fire spread, but he thought she was still inside.
And died trying to save her.
Yeah.
I wonder how this is going to affect completion of the movie.
Oh, it's finished. Yeah, one of the last press releases Eddie sent out was they expected it to be completed as of today. I'm sorry to greet you with such bad news.
Well, I'm afraid I've got some for you, too.
What is it?
Just a few lines. You know, I read two newspapers, and one of them is the Law Journal.
Oh, honey, all right, what is it?
Just a few lines from the Appointments and Careers section.
Seward, Paxton, and Whiteside, New York, announced the appointment of Kenneth J. Maxwell as head of its Criminal Law Division. Mike, the job is filled. David Henson promised to interview Draper.
I'm afraid Mr. Henson wasn't completely honest with me.
Mr. Henson is a hypocrite.
I guess Draper was right. He thought there was something strange about Henson's sudden departure for Europe.
He was just running away is what he was doing. Does Draper know about this?
I don't know. I haven't seen him all day. He's been in one meeting after another.
Well, he's going to be furious. I know I am.
How do you think I feel? I was the one who asked Henson to give Draper another chance.
The whole issue was dead until I raised it again.
Mike, I have a feeling that Margot Dorn is up to work again.
Well, we know she was responsible for what happened the first time.
Mm-hmm. So why not the second?
Because we have no proof of that.
Mm-hmm. She is pulling the strings again, I'm sure of it, and that man is her puppet.
Of course, she told us she wouldn't interfere.
Darling, now that April is pregnant, I'm sure she feels even more strongly about keeping her here.
You may be right, Nancy.
Margot will certainly move heaven and earth to keep her here. And she certainly knows how to do it, doesn't she?
You know, maybe I should take a plane over to Europe, punch out Mr. Henson, and come back. Maybe that would make me feel better.
Maybe you would feel better if you looked on the bright side, huh?
What bright side?
Well, you still work for the finest law firm in Monticello, and our baby is going to be born right here, among our family and friends.
Yeah. I know how important that is to you, and I'm glad.
Cheer you up a little?
A little.
Think a kiss would help?
Yeah, it might help.
Okay, let's try it. Oh, just think happy thoughts, okay? Besides, I don't want Margot to think that she is the sole reason for your depression.
Now, why would she think that?
Well, I didn't get a chance to tell you, but she's coming over here in a little while.
Margot's coming over here tonight?
Yeah, Draper, look, I'm sorry. I wouldn't have invited her over tonight if I'd known about this job earlier. But the fact is, Margot was extremely depressed at work today, and I thought going home to that empty apartment wouldn't be any help, and I thought being with some people would be good therapy.
Well, don't expect me to be very therapeutic.
Look, you and Margot have just reached the point where you can be civil to one another. I know you're angry with the world, but please do not take it out on Margot.
I'll do what I can, but don't expect too much.
Look, it's probably a good thing that she's coming over here tonight. She might be able to shed some light on Henson's actions since she knows him.
Margot knows Henson?
Well, yeah, he was her lawyer in New York. It was years ago, though, a good 10 years.
My, she's full of little secrets, isn't she?
Draper, it wasn't a secret, I knew. I suppose she didn't tell you because she just didn't think there was any point to it.
Just the same, it's a very interesting coincidence, no?
Doesn't mean anything, Draper.
Are you so sure about that?
Yes, I am sure. And when she comes over here, please do not make an issue out of it.
Margot's known for months that I was negotiating with Henson. It's just very strange that she never mentioned that she knew the man.
Please, look. You're angry with the world, and Margot is depressed, and the last thing I need is for the two of you to get into a needless argument.
Well, it's one thing for sure. I'm not going to have any trouble finding a topic of conversation with Margot tonight. Maybe I'll find out why Henson pulled that fast one on me.
Draper, look. Do you know how it upsets me when you and Margot argue? Do you? Do you have any idea? And it's not just me anymore, Draper. Arguing is not good for our baby either.
There you go, sir. I know you ordered the veal cordon bleu, but the speciality of the house tonight happens to be hamburger and French fries.
Okay.
Hope you like it. Do you want me to cut it for you, Adam? So you can eat it by yourself? Okay. Now, I know your mother usually does the honors
I'll
here,
get it when I get there.
but I will try to do as good a job as she does. After all, these are the hands of
Yeah.
GP, which is almost like the hands of a surgeon, after all. Just don't forget to tip 15%, okay?
Bye-bye.
There, is that enough for you to start with?
Running around that office like a proverbial chicken trying to get tonight's lead story on the air.
Now, at the fire at the movie Sudi?
Yeah, we've got a minicam crew there now. From what I hear, it's nothing but a burnt-out show.
Well, I assume that Mr. Madison was insured for that kind of thing.
Well, I hope so. He lost a lot more than a studio tonight, though.
Eddie Vaughn, are they good friends?
I understand that they are. I know that Eddie is very loyal to Owen, and he certainly was willing to go to any lengths to get publicity for Mansion of the Dam.
Yes, I remember that publicity stunt he thought up for April, going after the ghost of Hester Athert. So it occurs to me, what if this fire was another publicity gimmick?
I wonder. Oh, he certainly went all out if it was.
Well, something could have gone wrong. You know what happens when you play with fire.
You know, you could be right about this. In any case, I feel very sorry for the men. What am I doing? I've got to get out of here. I got to go put
You
this
go ahead, you go ahead.
show on.
I will wash the dishes. I'll do that. It's
No,
all right.
no.
I'll wash the dishes. Adam will dry, right?
I feel sorry about leaving you two.
No, it's all right. Adam and I get along great. Even with your hands now, huh? What happened to the fork?
You know, I think we should have let Mrs. Goodman stay on just a little bit longer.
Oh, come on. We don't need a permanent live-in babysitter. We call her when we need her. Besides, look at this kid. He's growing up so fast. Gonna have to enroll him in med school soon.
No, not yet. You know something? You are a wonderful daddy to him.
Oh, look, Adam and I have known each other since the day he was born.
Yeah, but you were my doctor then, not my husband.
This is true.
You know, Miles, there's something that we haven't talked about in a long time.
What is that?
Baby of our own.
You just finish up your meal, Tiger. I'll go say goodbye to your mom, huh? Try to use your fork, too, all right? Eat like a girl. You're really serious about this, aren't you?
Oh, come on, Miles. You've always known I thought it would be wonderful if we could have a child of our own.
Look, you really don't have to say this kind of thing to me. I mean, I've always treated Adam as if he were my own son.
I know you have. I want to be the mother of your child. You know, there's something that I've never really been able to figure out what your attitude is about having another child.
Well, it's because we haven't really talked about it. I mean, I haven't had a chance to think about it that much.
Well, okay. Obviously, it has to be a mutual decision. Listen, the last thing I want is for you to agree to this because I want one.
Well, now look, this is a heavy subject. I tell you what, you have to rush off to the studio. Why don't we just put it on hold, huh? Until we both have a chance to sit down, talk about it?
I suppose you're right. Okay. We'll put a pin in it, as Margot always says.
You tell me something, though. Is it in April's delicate condition that brought this thought to your mind again?
Oh, I suppose that might have had something to do with it.
Gee, I'm surprised you even had time at all to have this kind of thought.
Well, why do you say that?
I'm a busy career woman, anchoring the news. That TV station takes up all of your time.
Hey, now that doesn't mean I have any less of a maternal instinct.
Oh, but sweetheart, you'd have to lose your job or take a leave of absence.
Listen, there's absolutely no reason why a woman can't combine a career and motherhood.
Well, you're a good example of that already.
Oh, you're darn right I am. Hey, I thought we were going to put a pin in this.
All right, we'll make it a diaper pin.
Ha, ha, ha. I'll see you later.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye, Adam. Bye.
But Margot, you've known for a long time that I was in contact with Henson. I just find it very unusual that you never mentioned you were acquainted with him.
Well, darling, the man handled my legal affairs when I was in New York. For heaven's sakes, that was the Stone Age.
I think Draper's probably upset because he thinks you might have been able to put in a good word for him.
Oh, now, come on. You both know that Draper never would have allowed that. Besides, my relationship with David was strictly business. I haven't had much contact with him in years. We don't even exchange Christmas cards anymore.
Well, maybe it's a good thing you did change law firms. I mean, if Henson practiced law the way he handled my situation, he couldn't have been very ethical.
Don't blame David for this.
Why not? Margot, he was the only one who blackballed me the first time.
I'm sure he was very sincere when he offered to grant you that interview, Draper.
Well, then why did he tell Draper he was going back into the hospital instead of going on a European vacation?
Because probably he was embarrassed to admit he was putting pleasure before business. For heaven's sakes, he probably thought that was a more acceptable explanation for the delay.
No, I don't think so. I think he knew all along that they were going to give the job to that other guy, Maxwell.
Not necessarily.
Well, it still seems very unfair to me.
Come on, darling. Fair is not a very practical word to use in the business world. You know what I think? I think that you should put it right out of your mind, Draper, the whole matter.
Do I have any choice?
Well, look on the bright side. For heaven's sakes, you have a wonderful job with a very respectable law firm right here. You have a beautiful, comfortable home. You're close to your family, your friends.
Grass is always greener on the other side, I guess, huh?
Exactly. I mean, your predicament isn't anything compared to poor Owen Madison's. Gosh, maybe I should call him and tell him how sorry I am.
Yeah, I have to say it made me feel rather ill when I found out about Eddie Vaughn's death.
I wonder how this will affect Elliot's career.
Why? I heard that they had finished filming just a couple of hours before the fire broke out.
Oh, really? Then the world will be graced by the magical presence of Elliot Dorn on the silver screen.
You heard from him?
Oh, my darling, the only contact I want with Mr. Dorn is through my attorney. In fact, the sooner he ceases to exist in my world, the better I'll like it.
Well, you certainly do have reason to be bitter.
I have reason to be more than bitter, darling.
What was it that you told me one time? Not to be too upset with people who do you dirt?
What Elliot did or tried to do to me was far worse than dirt, darling. But, April, didn't you tell him about the gun?
What gun?
Well, the gun that so mysteriously appeared at your apartment, which was supposed to implicate me in Wade Meacham's death.
Are you saying that Dorn sent that gun to me?
Yes. I mean, you know, the burglars were supposed to have taken it, right? Well, the burglars just happened to be Mr. Dorn and his paramour, Sarah, right? They did that whole burglary just to cover up the fact that they wanted to get that gun to you. They wanted it to be the murder weapon.
But it wasn't.
No, it wasn't, was it? Poor Elliot. All that work for nothing.
He obviously just wanted to get you in jail, Margot.
Exactly. And then he would have been in control of everything without the burden of a wife. Well, that's the Mr. Wonderful that I married. I just wish there was something more I could do to him other than just divorce him.
I know. Are you okay?
Yes, Brian, I'm all
Oh,
right.
don't believe a word of it. I wanted to call a doctor to get you a mild sedative. Of course, you wouldn't hear of it.
I just want to sit down, please.
Daddy,
Yeah,
what about Uncle Eddie?
he's in the funeral home about half a mile from here. There'll be a service tomorrow morning. I don't know about the burial, though. This wasn't his home, Dad. I realize that, Brian. What else could I do? I know it all happened so suddenly.
I feel so guilty.
Oh, please, Nola. There's just no need for that. It wasn't your fault, right? In any way.
Mom, it was the wiring. It was never perfect, even after we had it redone.
But Eddie went into that building after me because he thought I was in danger.
Daddy, Uncle Eddie was married before. Shouldn't you notify his ex-wives?
Well, what he told me about his marriages. His ex-wives didn't become good friends in the Hollywood tradition.
There was no other family?
None that I know of.
No, there wasn't. None at all.
Just us.
Yeah. We were his family. That's why this is so awful.
Well, he did have a lawyer, somebody called Ackerman, out in Los Angeles. I guess I better get in touch with him.
Yeah, good idea, Dad.
Brian, what was that all about?
What?
When Eddie was dying, the only person he wanted to see was you.
Well, I I don't think that was the case, Owen. He wanted to see all of us, I'm sure of it.
No, it was Brian that he called. It was Brian that he wanted to see.
Yeah, I told you, Eddie told me he had something important that he wanted to tell me.
Well, I'm sure I know what that was all about. I'm sure Eddie was going to talk to Brian about representing him in Hollywood.
Nola, I hardly think he discussed business on his deathbed. No, it was something else. It was something that he was desperate to find out, to tell you, Brian. Now, what was it?
I just don't know, Dad. I don't know. And now it looks like I'll never know.